What if I told you that the next time someone insults you, whether it's a sly remark in a meeting or a cutting comment at a party, you could respond so smoothly, so confidently, that the room actually respects you more afterward? Most of us know that feeling. Your brain blanks, your mouth dries up, and hours later you're stuck replaying what you should have said. It's not just frustrating, it's draining. It chips away at your confidence every time it happens. But what if you never had to feel that way again? In this video, I'm going to show you how I turned my biggest social fear into one of my greatest strengths, and how you can do the same. Stay with me because near the end, I'll reveal one technique that not only stopped the insults, but turned an office rival into one of my biggest allies. It started during a team presentation last spring. I'd spent weeks preparing a proposal that could save our company thousands. I was excited, confident even. But 5 minutes in, as I wrapped up my pitch, Mark from operations leaned back in his chair and said loud enough for everyone to hear, "Didn't expect that from you. Guess even a broken clock's right twice a day." People chuckled nervously. I smiled weakly and muttered, "Well, glad it made sense." Then I moved on. But inside, I felt gutted. The rest of the meeting blurred. I couldn't focus. I kept thinking, why didn't I say something? Anything. Later that night, it hit harder. I wasn't just angry at him, I was mad at myself for not defending my work, for letting that comment echo in my mind like a loop I couldn't turn off. I started avoiding meetings where Mark would be. I questioned whether I was taken seriously at all, and worse, I started shrinking, not physically, but emotionally, playing smaller, saying less, until one moment changed everything. It wasn't dramatic, no raised voices, no clever comebacks, just one calm response, but it flipped the script. And it taught me something powerful about what real confidence looks like. Before we go any further, I want you to try something. Close your eyes, unless you're driving, of course, and think about the last time someone made a snide remark, something that caught you off guard. Maybe they laughed at your idea. Maybe they said something that felt like a joke but stung a little too hard. Can you feel it? That quick rush of heat in your chest? The awkward smile you forced? The silence that followed? That feeling of, I should have said something, but I didn't know what. Now imagine it's happening again. But this time you have 10 seconds to respond. No freeze, no panic, just calm clarity. What would you say? Go ahead, pause the video if you need to. Really try. Did you find the words? Or did your mind still go blank? Whatever happened, don't worry. That freeze response is wired deep. But you don't have to live in that loop anymore. Because the skill of handling those moments, it's just that, a skill, and skills can be learned. Let me show you how. Every time we stay silent after someone puts us down, it's not just a missed opportunity for a snappy comeback, it's something deeper. We're telling ourselves, I don't matter enough to defend. We think silence keeps the peace, that it's maturity, that taking the high road is noble. But sometimes, silence isn't peace, it's permission. And here's the kicker, the people who take jabs, they can tell who won't push back. They sense it, like sharks smell blood. It's rarely random. They test waters, and if you flinch or freeze, they know you're an easy mark. Over time, this doesn't just affect your self-esteem, it changes how you show up. You start doubting your instincts, questioning your worth, holding back in meetings, conversations, relationships. I've seen brilliant people second-guess every idea they have, not because their ideas are weak, but because someone made them feel small once, and they didn't know how to stand tall again. Real confidence isn't about dominating a room or firing back insults. It's about protecting your inner world with calm, clear boundaries. Because the cost of staying silent, it's not just the moment, it's your momentum. And once you start losing that, it gets harder to get it back, but not impossible. Here's something that genuinely surprised me. Something I wish I had known years ago. In a long-term study on workplace dynamics, researchers discovered that people who occasionally stood up for themselves, even just once or twice, received 37% fewer passive-aggressive comments over the following year. Not more conflict, not more tension, less. Let that sink in. Because most of us think that pushing back will escalate things, that if we speak up, we're creating drama. But it turns out just the opposite is true. Before we dive into what actually works, let's talk about what doesn't. because most of us fall into one of three traps. Mistake 1, a fake reaction. Someone makes a sharp, cutting joke at your expense, and instead of pushing back, you laugh. Not because it was funny, but because you didn't know what else to do. The problem? When you laugh, you're signaling that you're okay being the punchline. You're giving permission. They'll remember that laugh, and they'll do it again. Mistake 2, an over-explanation. No, that's not what I meant. Let me explain. We try to defend ourselves. Justify, clarify. But here's the trap. The more you explain, the more it looks like you did something wrong. You validate the insult by treating it as something worth defending. You dig a hole that only makes you feel smaller. Mistake 3, the freeze. The one I know too well. You freeze. Your brain goes blank. You stand there silently while your heart races and your face burns. You replay it for hours later, wishing you'd said something, anything. But in that moment, you felt powerless. And that's what sticks with you. Not just what they said, but how you didn't respond. The truth is, none of these responses are you. They're just habits, and habits can be unlearned. 6 weeks after that awkward lunch meeting, it happened again. Same coworker, this time in front of senior leadership. He said, if we want results, maybe we should stop listening to people who just talk a big game. I felt that old familiar freeze. But this time, I didn't stay silent. I looked him straight in the eye and calmly said, Hey, I've noticed you tend to question others when things aren't going well on your end. Want to talk about what's going on? The room went quiet. All eyes were now on him. He stammered, tried to laugh it off. Something had shifted. For the first time, I didn't shrink, and I didn't need to shout or get sarcastic. I stayed grounded, clear, and in control. That moment wasn't just about winning the interaction. It was about reclaiming something I didn't even realize I had lost, my voice. I didn't want to become aggressive or fake. I wanted to feel calm, in control, and most importantly, like myself. Here are the 5 strategies that helped me do exactly that. Strategy 1, reverse the attention. Turn the attention back. If someone says, wow, you're full of opinions lately, you calmly say, that's interesting coming from someone who hasn't offered one. What's your take? Boom. You've just redirected the pressure and reminded everyone that you're not here to be a target. Strategy 2, a calm response. Think of this like verbal jujitsu. When someone throws sarcasm your way, you reflect it back, but smoother, cleaner, more composed. Imagine someone saying, nice of you to dress up today. You smile and respond, thanks for noticing. I appreciate how observant you are. It tells the room, I see what you did, but I'm not playing. Strategy 3, the pause technique. You don't always need the perfect comeback. Sometimes the most powerful response is silence. Someone tries to get a rise out of you, just pause. Look them in the eye. Say nothing for 3 to 4 seconds. Then keep the conversation moving, like they didn't even say it. That silence, it creates discomfort for them, not you. It communicates, I heard you, I'm not rattled, and you're not worth the energy. Strategy 4, the defense with humor. Humor can be a sword, but here, it's your shield. Let's say someone jabs, you sure you want to speak up after that last idea? You grin. Hey, I like to keep the team guessing. People chuckle. The tension dissolves. You're not mocking yourself. You're not attacking them. You're just showing confidence with a wink. Strategy 5, the simple question. When someone says something truly cutting, don't react. Ask. With curiosity, not accusation. Say, what made you feel that was necessary to say? Or, genuinely curious, what were you hoping to accomplish by saying that? This does 2 powerful things. It forces reflection, and it positions you as the mature, emotionally intelligent one. You're not playing defense anymore. You're asking questions that make them think. These strategies aren't about being clever or superior. They're about being centered, present, and proud of how you carry yourself, especially when it's hard. And here's the wildest part. The more I practiced them, the less often I needed them. Ready for the final transformation? After months of practicing these strategies, something unexpected happened. I began to notice a shift. It wasn't that people suddenly became nicer. It was that they saw I wasn't an easy target anymore. The passive-aggressive comments, they grew less frequent. The awkward silences, they almost vanished. But the real change happened inside me. The anxiety before meetings, the dread of social gatherings, it melted away. Instead, I walked into any situation knowing, whatever happens, I'll handle it with dignity. and that made all the difference. I was free to just be. Now, here's the final game changer, the unexpected ally technique. The next time someone tries to embarrass you publicly and you handle it with one of these strategies, do something surprising. Approach them privately, not to call them out, not to start a fight, but to check in. Say something like, "I noticed that exchange earlier felt a bit tense. I really value our working relationship, so I wanted to see if everything's okay between us." This does three powerful things. First, it shows tremendous confidence. You're not afraid to address the tension directly. Second, it gives them space to reflect. They might realize their behavior was driven by insecurities or stress they hadn't shared. Third, it positions you as emotionally mature and caring. You're proving that you're not here to fight, but to connect. When I did this with Jason, the same Jason from accounting, something incredible happened. I found out he had been dealing with intense imposter syndrome after a recent promotion. My success had triggered his insecurities, making him lash out. That one conversation completely transformed our relationship. He went from being a workplace adversary to one of my strongest allies. What about you? Have you ever been caught off guard by a comment that made you freeze? Or have you tried any of these techniques before? Share your experience in the comments below. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need to hear this today.